You know, Priya, we won't really know till the 4th what actually has happened. But a lot of maneuvering is going to take place right now, and that maneuvering is important. By now, the BJP is getting feedback from the ground on how it's gone. They did get feedback from the first phase that left them slightly more confident than they were maybe 2 months ago. But then it boils down to a question. Does the BJP have an obvious face? Is that Suvendu Adhikari? He's the obvious face, obvious person to be a potential chief minister if they get a chance?
Well, he is their best face, so yes, he would probably be the choice of chief minister, especially after, they made Samrat Chaudhary also. There was a saying within the BJP that the party workers are feeling that, outsiders are being given a chance. But I think there has been some kind of a call that let's make the strongest leader the chief minister rather than, promote a lightweight. We saw that with Samrat Chaudhary, we've seen Hemanta, of course, pull that off very well. So I do think, yes, if the BJP wins, he was probably going to be the chief ministerial face. But there is a huge gap in the middle, and we were discussing I think Sayantan spoke about 3 Mahila and the Muslim and one more the factor, the M factor. The Muslim vote also, they are deciding factor in as many as 90 constituencies. So if they manage to hold their vote and the BJP is not able to split it, or rather OAC and is not able to split it, and the Congress, then I think there is going to be these numbers will come up again under scanner as to if it is a very close race, and even if the TMC is a little ahead, and if it's a hung house, then I think the BJP will definitely swing it. They haven't done enough Operation Lotus. They know how to do these things. They're old hands at that, and I think that is really the biggest fear with the TMC right now. We are seeing some kind of, Joyita was just showing me a post by Mahua Moitra. We saw, you asked me a question on Derek O'Brien. They are turning to be, in terms of rude is the
but they were always like that.
But Rishabh, today when the election is over,
but Mahua Moitra has always been. She's been very in your face.
Election is over now. Why are they doing it? So they're obviously suspecting something. This is all post-election. Some of the comments. That is the worry. Election is over, so now you put your comments aside.
Is that coming from overconfidence or is coming from underconfidence, Joyita?
Well, difficult to say right now. But the thing is, you see, if the undercurrent that is there, that holds, I think Mamta's Muslim wall is holding. Okay, but as I said, if there is a wave, the wave will stop at the Muslim wall.
Okay. But Tathagat Roy, before we let you go, sir, if you can still hear me, sorry we lost the connection for a second. Last question to you, Mr. Roy. We've heard, I don't know if you've heard Derek O'Brien's statement.
Hello.
Yeah, can you hear me, Mr. Roy? Tathagat Roy, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard Derek O'Brien's video post today, where he referred to the Prime Minister as Narendra and dared him to quit if he lost. It seemed a bit off color and a bit off taste. What do you make of that, of the tone and tenor of it?
What is off taste? I don't quite get it.
Derek O'Brien, sir, I don't know if you heard his statement today.
No, I haven't heard Derek O'Brien's statement.
Okay, so he referred to the Prime Minister in first name terms. He goes, Narendra, if you lose Bengal, I dare you to quit. It's really unusual to be talking of Narendra Modi in first name terms. Do you think that was a bit off color?
No, he's trying to get smart. You see, in Trinamool, Congress is a very peculiar party. It is a party which is basically an extension of one human being called Mamata Banerjee. And the entire bunch of Trinamool functionaries, Trinamool politicians, all their efforts are directed at simply one thing, that pleasing Mamata Banerjee. Derek O'Brien possibly thought that this addressing the Prime Minister by his first name will please Mamata Banerjee and push up Derek O'Brien one notch inside the party. That is why he did it. It's a stupid thing to do, but that's the way Trinamool Congress functions.
Okay, Tathagat Roy, appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us on the telecast. Manasvi joining us on the broadcast as well. But Priya, just to continue that thought, they've got feedback now. No, they have a rough idea of what's going on. Nobody actually knows, but they've got a rough idea where it's gone well, where it's not gone so well. The poll guys have now, the WhatsApp groups are activated. At what point of time do you go out as a political party feeling a lot more confident, or do you just keep it under wraps till the 4th? Just keep mum?
Unfortunately, early on, which is the first to admit defeat, is also showing grace. But I think over here, and especially, and it's not pertaining to any party. All political parties do it till the end. In the morning, you'll see the leads coming in. If they favor one party or the other, the persons will come and say, "Nahi, ye galat hai," and we are waiting. These leads will change. Even if the leads don't change and they hold, and there is a win from the other side, then they say EVMs are manageable. So unfortunately, losing gracefully is not something we see in our Indian politics, unfortunately.
Okay.
That's
okay, let's just get a dipstick test from everyone. Everyone's gone through the poll figures. Manasvi, I'm guessing you've had a chance to look through all of them. We've been showing all of them. There have been wild predictions in the past that have come true, and many times they've come untrue. What do you think of the Bengal predictions? They seem to be indicating a surprise for the TMC, and not in a good way.
I think the kind of understanding which has happened, I think both of them have fought equivalently well. Be it BJP by using all the forces, by getting the CAPF on ground, by doing SIR, they could do it what they had their instruments, and also TMC what they could do with their instruments, they have done it pretty well. So I feel it's a kante ki takkar. I don't say that it's not a kante ki takkar, and it's a very volatile election which has happened, and also keeping everything under the blanket. The volatility is there, but making sure that violence is not there. And it's a very interesting, volatile election, and it's high voltage. And with this high voltage, I feel the difference of voting percentage, votes would be very less. It would be some seats we'll see 500, 1,000, 2,000 swing. Not a massive lead by any political party or any political leader will be there. The difference is going to be very small, and with the small difference, I think it can go anywhere. It can go with BJP, it can go with TMC, but none of the polls have actually shown for TMC less than 100 seats. So it's a kante ki takkar there, and polls have shown 130, 135, 140 for BJP.
Okay, we've unfortunately lost that connection quickly once again. I just wanted to pull out some of the figures on your screens because they're getting updated with the final tell of every single number out there. And while we've been discussing the battle in Bengal, a very interesting battle has happened in Kerala, where across the board the prediction is pretty consistent. It's the Congress coming back to power in Kerala. Priya, I just want to pick that thought. Where does this figure as a relief, as a re-spirit? Where does it figure into the larger context of things? Because now you've had a Rahul Gandhi who's fought from and won from Kerala. Then he has had his sister fight from the constituency and win that constituency. Where does this fit in?
No, in terms of the Congress narrative and the opposition, the Congress has to hold on to win one state at least. It's not winning Assam. Kerala, it has to win. So, to prove itself that it is also can sit with the other opposition leaders on the India bloc table. I think the Congress desperately needs this win, and it is a predictable win. The Congress has, if you look at the way they went about it, first we had Shashi Tharoor sulking, talks of him joining the BJP, he would not, and he may not be, in terms of leadership role, but he is a very popular campaigner. He gets the crowds. He may not be winning the chief ministerial stakes. VD Satishan, who is the CLP leader in the state, has a more popularity on ground than Shashi Tharoor. But Shashi Tharoor matters in Kerala. It is good to have him within the Congress, and I think the Congress realized that. They did make up. There was, before the elections, there was a rapprochement reaching out. KC Venugopal, in fact, is the one who reached out to Shashi Tharoor and had that meeting with Rahul Gandhi. It was done in Parliament, so the cameras were there, so everybody could see it. So all that happened. I think the Congress fought the Kerala election well as a united party in terms of organization. Also, they already have an organization on ground. That was an election well fought. Of course, the missing Priyanka Gandhi. I mean, that's another question that we all talked about. Why was Priyanka sent away to faraway Assam, and she is the MP from there? Why was she not there on ground?
So why?
Perhaps Rahul, KC Venugopal perhaps could have engineered this and said, we don't need her. Assam needs a star campaigner to take on Hemanta. That's what he told Rahul Gandhi. So let's send Priyanka there. He perhaps had his own motives because, I was talking to a senior Congress General Secretary, and he said it is very funny because now they, of course, as discussing CM faces. He's saying everybody, if you talk to anybody in Delhi, in the headquarters, they all are saying KCV. There's a unanimity, a rare unanimity on KC Venugopal's name. But if you go to Kerala and go go to the district headquarters and talk to the district congressman, anybody but KCV. So that's the quandary that the Congress is facing in Kerala now.
It's not the first time
Not the
that
first time.
whether the CM gets decided in Delhi or gets decided by the party. You can argue the same conversation happens in the BJP, but it's a lot more quieter.
No,
and
no.
subtler.
What I'm saying is that Delhi people want to get rid of KC Venugopal and send him. He's the general secretary organization.
We
So
we got your drift.
Huh.
We got your drift. That's a source-based one from Priya Sehgal, from people that she's been speaking to. She's not quoting anybody over there. Let me get Nilanjan into this conversation. Coming back to Bengal, Nilanjan Das, 92% or maybe 93% by the time we end up is something special. It is something unprecedented. It is something unique. Why do you feel that these extra 12% have come out to defend Mamata Banerjee, to vote for her and not give the BJP a chance?
No, this is not absolute number. You are talking about percentage, and the percentage has gone up because the denominator, which is the total number of eligible voters, has come down. That is due to the SIR process. So it is actually the same number of people have gone out and voted, number one. And number two, there could have been some more people going out because they may fear that if we don't vote this time, our name could be stuck off the electoral roll. So that is the reason why you see a jump in vote share percentage. So don't read much into it. At least I'm not reading much into it. But the kind of numbers, the wild numbers that have been shown in the exit poll, it is really bewildering. I think the pollsters who are making all these numbers, they will have to eat crow on the 4th of May.
Well, they were long last time, many of them.
Yes.
And
Yes,
it was a
and all
sweeping
these-
mandate
all
for
these are
Mamata.
propaganda. All these are paid polls. They are done by the BJP. Everyone knows that. We are used to this. It's the same game that is played every time. Last time also they did this, and by this Sunday they would show BJP getting 200 seats. They need to do this to charge the morale of their workers. Otherwise,
Well, it's always all hubris until it's real.
On the 4th of
But Nilanjan, then, but isn't it also reasonable for the BJP to think that, you know what, it has been the most peaceful election ever. Something significantly different has happened, and there
Exactly.
were
It has
people who
been the
were
most
afraid to vote,
peaceful
and they've come out in our favor.
Exactly. So this has been the most peaceful election. People have come out and voted, and I think as per BJP's statements, they don't say that there has been any incidences of booth capturing or anything like that. There has been no Ghuspetia in the voter list. There has been no Bangladeshis coming out and voting for the TMC. I think all these their rubbish propositions that they have been propounding all these years, they stand vanquished this time.
So Nilanjan,
So
why
on the
is
4th of May, if the TMC comes back with a 2/3 majority, I think the BJP will have a lot to answer.
okay? But why is Mamata Banerjee come out and said the opposite today? Why she's come and said that all this CRPF, central observers, they are trying to rig the elections? Why the opposite?
Yes, that was their mandate. All these central police forces, I think you know that there has been one death of one of the an old senior citizen in Udaynarayanpur.
Okay, the
central
allegation
police
is that he was
forces-
beaten by the CRPF. They of course deny it. It's
he
under
was beaten by
investigation.
the,
But
and
yes,
in another
yes. Finish your thought.
who has been beaten up by the central police. So this is what they are doing. In 2021 also we saw in Shitalkuchi what was done. The innocent voters were killed. They were shot at by the central police. So this is what they do.
Okay,
This
all
is
right.
Amit
Okay,
Shah.
just hold your thought. Kalyani Shankar,
wing.
it
This is
has
Amit
been
Shah
a record
practice.
turnout. The SIR has happened. Yes, it's been challenged in court, but it's already done. The elections are already over now. Okay, no post facto ruling can affect these elections. So the SIR has happened. A peaceful election has happened. A record turnout has happened. If Mamata Banerjee still manages to win, what other options have now the BJP got left?
Well, BJP has always been trying to, of course, in West Bengal they wanted to unseat Mamata Banerjee. But otherwise, their strategy has always been in Orissa, they became number 2 party and then they won the state. So like that, they have been trying to do it in other states also. So if they get number 2 also, they can go around saying that we tried our best. And Mamata was rigging and money was given, all kinds of things they can say about it. They can justify why they become a number 2. But I don't think they can become less than number 2 because they will be either number 1 or number 2. So it all depends on the voters, whether they have favored Mamata Banerjee in spite of all the problems, or they would say, let's go for a change, let's vote for BJP.
Okay.
So this is the dilemma of the voters, and they've already cast the votes. So now we'll only have to wait and see on the 4th May what the results are. I would still say, again, I'm saying that I think Mamta could win again.
Okay, or absolutely she could. She swept last time, so absolutely don't underestimate Mamta Banerjee. Don't underestimate the factors
Exactly.
in play in Bengal. It's not clear cut. Priya said it. I can join in very reasonably. If you just look at developmental arithmetic, you can argue that the BJP, Narendra Modi has a better record, but you can't look at the emotional part of it and call it mathematics and statistics. The pride part of it does play. She has been somebody who has really risen from the ranks under duress. She's been on the street. She's faced violence on her own and taken on the left, which was the origin of the Gundaraj in Bengal when that happened. And she's taken them on, defeated them, lasted all these years. Don't underestimate her. But at the same time, don't underestimate BJP either. They're capable of pulling surprises. Slowly and steadily and sometimes very sharply. Okay, let's pick up some numbers on Tamil Nadu now on your screens. We have G. Siddharthan joining us on the broadcast. I also have Dr. N. Ramasubramaniam. Dr. Ramasubramaniam, let me pick up the thought with you. No surprises that almost everyone is expecting the DMK to return to power in Tamil Nadu. I have to ask you the question on Vijay. Has he been a factor in this election, sir, in otherwise what seems to be a pretty straightforward contest for Mr. Stalin?
Yeah, good evening to everyone. This election is quite interesting. This is what exactly I have mentioned 3-4 days back in your channel. The new player, Taveka, that is CVK, that has made a dent into the vote share of both the parties, ADMK and DMK. Otherwise, it would have been a two-way fight between DMK and ADMK. So this time, the new player, Vijay, the actor Vijay, has made a tremendous impact in the political scenario of Tamil Nadu. But as I have mentioned earlier, definitely DMK is going to win. It is going to be between 140 and 160. This was my prediction. Most of the polls, they are also mentioning the same thing. Something like one or two predictions are ADMK may win, or even TVK may win a substantial number of seats in Tamil Nadu. I think that is not a reality.
One poll, Access, is giving nearly 100 seats.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I have seen it as even 115 or 120. That is even a simple majority for TVK. I think that is not a proper assessment at all. So my assessment is that based on the predictions, various exit polls, I personally feel that the DMK will come back to power. It is going to be between 140 and 160.
Okay. All right.
And there is not going to be 2 or 3 points, only one. There is not going to be any coalition government. And the second point, there is no hung assembly. All these things are going to be straightforward, like 2021. That's what I personally feel about.
Let's work on that premise for a second, and then we have to argue that there is a honeymoon period kind of scenario, because there is no charismatic, all-encompassing, larger-than-life figure to take on the DMK right now. Then that begs the question, sir, in the interim election which we've had, in which we have seen Udayanadi come out and campaign, lead certain aspects of the rallies, is he then an obvious future leader, future chief minister, you think, of Tamil Nadu? Maybe not this time, but certainly in the future?
See, as far as Udayanadi is concerned, he is the next person to be the chief minister. He is the chief ministerial candidate, and next to Mr. Stalin. He is going to be the person. He is being accepted by the party. Why should somebody say he should not become? He is being accepted by the party, the cadres, the leaders. Everybody is behind him. So if that is the kind of support that he is getting, why should we debate about it? And I think it's in a democracy, the decision of the party, the cadre, and the leaders that matters.
You can argue dynasty, but if the dynasty works, then you don't have to argue against it. It's working so far. Mr. Sridhathan, let me come to you. What do you make of this Axis My India poll, which is predicting 100 plus seats for the TVK?
No, the last discussion also I have said that I stuck my neck out and said that DMK is going to come. Why? Because why I don't believe read much into TVK's performance is that DMK has a very solid cadre base, and although they have wonderful booth level workers, network of booth level workers, which AIDMK also has, BJP has also tried to build up and somewhat equal level. But Vijay's problem is that he doesn't have that. In Tamil Nadu, what I come to understand is that money plays a big part in elections, and also they have a system to distribute the money to people and all that. So voters and all that also requires an organization.
Okay.
So they are much better placed in
so
terms
let's
of
go across the border, sir, to Kerala. All the polls are predicting a flip in government, that it's going to be a UDF government, that is not going to be another term. And I'm assuming if it's not another term for Pinarayi Vijayan, he's unlikely to be contesting an election again in 5 years. So where do you think that is going? Is that predictable, or is that an upset also in the making?
No, what I have traveled extensively to Kerala, and what I feel is that there is a minority consolidation in towards UDF. The Kerala usually, it is North Kerala always supports the UDF, and left Muslims and other and a bit of Christian community also support LDF. That was the pattern that we used to witness. This time around, there was a consolidation of minorities, especially Muslim community, towards this UDF, and that will change in a big way in favor of UDF.
Okay, so then if you're upset with the left, Manasvi Thapar, are you just then lack of options? You automatically vote for the Congress, and the BJP once again is left counting voter percentage. They were at 11%. They are hoping to get closer to 20%. 15, 16 would be great. What does that put us in the overall picture if the Congress does win Kerala? How excited should they be?
I don't think they'll be very much excited, because Congress is neither a party of South, neither a party of North. Congress is just a party which is just at the leftover places wherever BJP is not able to make a dent. Otherwise, Congress does not have anything much to celebrate. If they make a dent, I don't think that's going to be a major impact for Congress. Neither the cadre would be happy, nor the congressmen or the leaders would be happy. It's just that they fought the election there and they won that election. But how much is that going to make a impact in Lok Sabha? Not only 2 seats. So that's not something which is going to be a major factor for Congress. So Congress has to rework on their entire strategy. They are not there in West Bengal. They are not there in Tamil Nadu. They are not there in Puducherry. Assam, they are being told that they are going to give a fight, but how much is that fight going to turn out? So that is also something which the result is going to say. But it's just that Congress does not have a strategy. Congress does not have the might or the ammunition to fight the BJP. BJP is so strong that they are going to they're going to be second in place in almost all the elections they are fighting, and wherever they are coming second, they make sure the next election
it is the truism of the Congress that in any state in the history of the country, once they've become number 3 party, they have never come back to form a government on their own. In Bengal, they face oblivion, zero potentially in this election. In Assam, not oblivion, but status quo ante. In Tamil Nadu, reduced to a very junior partner, where to the point in Puducherry, they can argue that they aren't being even given options there by the DMK. Not relevant in the DMK thinking of things is the Congress party. They hold a seat or two, Karthi Chidambaram, for example, does, but not in the thinking of the politics of the state anymore. But in Kerala, a win is a win. Okay, you can then argue that you held it in Karnataka, you won in Kerala, you got something going. Whether it adds up to something, I don't know. Quick 1 minute break. We are back on the other side. We come back with all the numbers. You've been watching the turnout on your screens. It is easing its way up, and the average is expected to end at 93%. We see you in 60 seconds.